you're working, you're trying to race. 17 years old. Between your 11th and 12th grade in high school is when you started making your cup starts with Harry. You made those 5 starts that you mentioned. You graduated right before the 1983 World 600. I can't believe you're that young back then. I mean, when you won your first race, you were 22. Seems like you were older than that.
No. It's really strange because I look now, it's pretty normal for guys to come in at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
But at the time, it wasn't. And, one of the things that we thought we were doing right was me coming up here by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I look back and say I needed my dad or some other mentor or somebody that could really help me.
Yeah.
And finally, the 15th row, Bobby Hillin, 17 years old in the Hillin Drilling Buick, and Ronnie Thomas in the Thomas Racing Pontiac. There have been only 3 drivers in NASCAR history to start at the age of 17, and Bobby Hillin Jr. is one of them. The other 2, Cale Yarborough and Richie Pench. Here is Bobby Hillin Jr. in the number 8 Hillin Drilling Buick. Bobby Jr. from Midland, Texas, 17 years of age. Of course, his father owned some Indianapolis-type race cars, but Bobby trying to work into the racing profession here on the Grand National Circuit. This is his very first race. And Ned, can you remember back when you drove your first Grand National race? Were you a little nervous? Were you a little cautious out there?
I would say that I was, but I was older than 17, Bob. I'd had a little bit of experience, particularly in sportsman-type competition on dirt tracks around the country. In fact, one of the very first Grand National races that I drove was here at North Wilkesboro when the track was still dirt. That would have been back in the mid-1950s. I think the Speedway was paved in 1956, but they had some great Grand National races here when it was dirt. As we see Waltrip move on the inside of Lenny Pond, the car number 24, boy, he just is able to pass them where he finds them. But a fellow like Hillin has to be, well, he has to be thrilled, first of all, to be here running with the greatest stock car drivers in the world and to make the race the very first time. Although he started next to last, but still it was a tremendous accomplishment just to make the field, because there were some veterans that went home yesterday after qualifying ended before the rains came, and they'd been around for a long, long time, and here comes a 17-year-old that beat them.
Bobby Hillin, meanwhile, in the number 8 car, is continuing to display a good first race here. Bobby, of course, 17 years old, and Ned has driven a fairly steady race. He has not been competitive, but he's gaining a lot of experience.
Yes, he is, and he has been very smooth out there as we've watched him run around here. This is a tough racetrack to drive, and for a young fellow to come in here and do as well as he has today, it's very commendable of the fellow. Harry Hyde, who's working on that car, says that he'll make a race driver, and I'll tell you, starting at this young age and getting this kind of experience can be good for you.